welcome to Take Into Experience, the podcast where we explore people, stories, and ideas shaping today's hospitality and tourism industry. Um, my name is Carol, and our guest today is Chris Campione.
It's
He's a,
wonderful to be here.
he's a lawyer, entrepreneur, and hospitality operator who owns Renegades on the River. This is one of a kind property on Florida St. John's River that brings together a restaurant, tiki bar, cabins, RV resort, full marina, all in one. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. It's an absolute pleasure of mine to be on the program with you guys.
Thank you. Let's start with your path. You built a career in law before moving into hospitality.
Mhm.
What first sparked that shift?
Money. It's hard to get into hospitality at my level unless you're coming in as an investor or owner. So the simple answer to that question is money, but it's always been a passion of mine. Obviously, I started my career in the law. I did some real estate investing. That real estate investing segued into ownership of multifamily properties, which segued into some Airbnb and vacation style rentals. So I got a little taste for the hospitality portion with the Airbnbs because it's all about creating kind of that unique experience that somebody, is in a holiday state of mind, being able to prepare something that somebody says, hey, I'm going to leave a 5-star review and I want to come back. So from there, the jump into hospitality seemed like a natural step. And when the opportunity presented itself, we acted very quickly
Yeah,
and completed the deal.
for sure. But was there a moment when you realized hospitality wasn't just a side investment, but it was something you wanted to explore further?
Yes. It's hard for me to pinpoint an exact moment because it's something I always knew I wanted to get into. But it's, where is the opportunity? Because it's got to be the right opportunity.
Right.
And when this deal came across my desk with the right partners, some of them in local government, some other community leaders, and I was able to be a part of it in a big way, I said, let's do it. And it's been fun.
That's a kind of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And how did your legal background shape the way you run business, focused on people and service?
Yes. So my core business is a law firm here that specializes in personal injury law. And personal injury law is, it's not the most complicated thing to do. Now, being a specialist, being very good at what you do can set you apart. But to the average person, right, the consumer facing portion, a lot of what people remember is how well they were treated. What experience did they have? And that transcends almost to the hospitality standpoint, right? If you go to a property and you're met with a smiling face and the food is good, and your bed is comfortable, right? How picky are you about the establishment, right? You know what I mean? It's honestly, it's the little things, right? Which I think from at least my experience on the hospitality side is what kind of can set you apart.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. The experience is like everything.
Yes.
Speaking of that, let's talk about the inside of Renegades on the River.
Yeah.
For our viewers who haven't visited yet, what's Renegade on the River like when someone arrives?
So kind of taking a step back even a little bit further is there's a really interesting eclectic mix of locals, travelers, RV enthusiasts that kind of come to Renegades. When you pull in, I would call it a luxury RV park and resort in the sense that it's all pavers, it's all well done. There's limitations on how long people can stay there because when you're doing kind of like an RV resort, if you don't have those limitations, it can turn into a trailer park.
Oh.
And you don't want a trailer park, you want an RV resort, right?
Right.
So you have limitations on how long people can leave their campers there. Now, the other side of that is we have cabins as well. Now, the cabins are actually one of our best performing assets on the property. So the idea is to hopefully add another 15 to 20 cabins. But you pull in, beautifully manicured landscape, paver, cobblestone looking streets, RVs that are all in very good shape because, we limit what kind of RVs can come in there. You don't just want anybody coming in there. You want to maintain that aesthetic, good appearance. So when you pull in, you come into the park, you drive up to where the restaurant is. It's a big restaurant, very well done. Lots of kind of old Florida things on the walls, gators, fish, stuff like that. I think the food's pretty good. One of the big things, kind of a learning experience for me is the restaurant industry as well. Like there's a lot of things that you can do that can differentiate not just the profitability, but the experience overall. So from that, you pull down to one of the largest tiki bars in the area. The tiki bar fits, I think, almost 320 people.
Oh, wow.
And on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, it is packed out.
Oh, wow.
So then you come around from the tiki bar. Across the street from that is the bait shop, where you can, in package house, so you can buy liquor, beer, t-shirts, snacks, bait for fishing. And then you come down to where our marina is. You can fill up with gas. I want to say we've got about 50 boat slips there. So you have, your folks coming in on the weekend that are towing their boat that can keep it there. You have boats that people can rent there as well. Yeah. We're trying to expand upon that. And then you have a good bit of folks that are traveling up and down the river. Say they're going to the Springs, say they're going, or they're staying down somewhere. They'll come for the day, drink at the bar, have a good time, and take their boat back home at night.
Oh, that's quite an experience.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's very old Florida. It's not that a corporate feel. It reminds me of when I was a kid, kind of growing up in Central Florida, and we've tried to keep it that way.
Oh, that's amazing. You said you welcome both locals and travelers.
Yeah. How
do you create experiences that appeal to each group without losing the identity?
That has been challenging, and that is one of the hardest things on management to balance. Being able to cater to both groups. Now, I would say our biggest demographics are, we have your RV enthusiast, right? The guy that's traveling the country, traveling the state. They want somewhere nice to keep their boat or their RV. Then, probably our next biggest segment is, this part's seasonal, the boaters, right? The folks that are going to the Springs down there, that are stopping over for a drink, a meal, an afternoon to watch football, whatever. Then we get a lot of bikers because of where it's at. When they're doing their bike runs, it's a good stopover point for them to stop, have a couple drinks, have some food. So there's a pretty decent biker crowd as well. And then you've got the locals, because it's a little bit of a food desert over there that live in the surrounding area that come down. And some of the things we do is we give the locals can apply for a card, right? And you get discounts on all your food. From the bikers and whatnot. I mean, it's old Florida, but we kind of cater to the environment I think that you would want if you were making a stopover and you were a biker, you were a boater or an outdoor enthusiast, you would feel right at home there.
That you feel welcome.
Yes, just based on the decor, based on the staff, based on, just kind of the overall demeanor of the place.
Oh, perfect. And you are managing our restaurant, lodging, and marina,
yes,
all under one brand.
Yes.
What's your approach to keeping every department aligned?
Well, it's obviously important to have different managers managing different aspects, and communication's pretty darn important as well. They all need to coexist, and they all should complement the other. And the more integration I feel that you can get between the two. I mean, one of the things when we took over the place, the bar didn't serve food, but we had a kitchen right next door. Why aren't we serving or having some kind of bar menu?
Yeah.
It's 50 feet away.
Right.
That could have a big impact on the bottom line. Or why aren't we offering breakfast sandwiches in the morning at the bait shop, where somebody who's coming in on their boat can't grab a $5 breakfast sandwich on their way out? So when I say complement, they should complement each other. They shouldn't act as standalone units within, an overall resort, in my opinion. Some people might think differently, but if you have a kitchen, use the kitchen.
Right. Let's dive into the business story.
Yeah.
You were talking about Renegades.
Mm-hmm.
Your background is law, but you mentioned that acquiring Renegades was one of your most interesting business deals.
Yes.
How did our opportunity come together?
So a lot of this is public information, so I don't mind saying it, but it was um, another attorney who is heavily involved in local government was working at a law firm at the time. The law firm was representing the owners of the property. And there was another gentleman who had the property under some kind of verbal contract for 2 years and was really kind of stringing the owners along. After 2 years, they got tired of that. And they said, hey, they said to my friend who's in local government, hey, if you have a buyer for this that can close quickly, we would love to entertain that. We're tired of dealing with this guy, etc. So the purchase price they wanted was $6.3 million, I believe. So me and a couple other guys were able to put together that and close the deal within 2 weeks. And I joke because it's the fastest close I've ever done on something of that magnitude. And I wouldn't take this advice, but we skipped a lot of the standard due diligence that you would otherwise do. But we knew it was a good deal. We knew we wanted to do it. We knew top line numbers. We didn't really know, there weren't good financials on it, but we knew it had potential. So we were able to put that together in 2 weeks. We closed it. We paid the price later because a lot of, if you're acquiring something, you want to have your management group in place, a lot of other things. We didn't have all that because of the short runway we had. So we've suffered a little bit in the interim, but we've been able to get it on plane, iron all those things out. And now it's a very positive thing.
Oh, wow. But
the part that excites me the most is the brand. Like it's been around for, I think, 9 years. There's a brand following to the place. And I think there's the potential to be able to acquire other similarly situated properties and rebrand them. This property we're talking about is Renegades on the water, right? Or Renegades on the river. But why can't you have Renegades on the Swanee River or Renegades at the beach? The
expansion.
There's a lot more I want to see out of it that's coming to fruition. And
I imagine your legal skills came in handy during that process. So what specific advantages did that training give you?
There's quite a few. Now you have the obvious ones, which dealing with contracts, dealing with people, negotiating these type of deals. It's something I do almost every day for other people, for myself. It's right in my wheelhouse. That obviously gave me a big leg up. Having a thriving law practice, obviously, for obvious reasons, gives me a leg up. But being able to come in there and have a consumer-focused mind from all the years in practice and trying to cater and provide a good experience for people, that certainly provided me with the right perspective to be able to go in there and make some of the positive changes that we've done.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
And once the deal was done, what was the biggest surprise that no textbook or law degree could have prepared you for?
There's been some interesting moments dealing with some of the locals and the bikers and whatnot. That has been interesting. That I can't, you can go to school as long as you want. You're not generally going to learn people skills and how to deal with people and be able to cater to people and understand people and take them where they are.
Yes.
Right. I mean, if you open up a restaurant and hotel in Miami versus you can't have the same plan. Right. You can have the same principles. You can have the same ideas or mantras. Right. But you need to be adaptable and open to change your kind of your look, your feel to cater to the people that are going to be going to your establishment. Right. It's not a one size fits all. I would say that was some of dealing with those kind of situations that arose from dealing with certain groups of people that are patrons or whatnot. That was one of them. And then anytime when you're dealing with partners on a deal like this, not something they teach you in school how to deal with it, how to navigate those issues.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because you got to have, when you have multiple people that are involved on a deal like that, it's inevitable that people have different ideas for how things should work, how things should look, for who should be in management, all of those things, right? So it's kind of coming together but doing it in a positive, constructive way.
And know how to communicate.
It knows how to
Yes.
communicate. But when you do that and you get a reputation for doing that, people want to bring you in onto more projects and more deals, right? Because they know you're a smooth operator. They know you're not a hothead. You know, it's just like in anything in life, right? Success compounds success.
Oh, that's great. Well, this is one of my favorite topics. This is about people and leadership.
Okay.
And every hospitality business depends on its team. What is your philosophy when it comes to hiring and developing staff?
So, hire slow, fire fast. You've probably heard that before, but it like you hear those words, but they're hard to practice, right? Because we all want to be compassionate, but you can be compassionate, but be able to make hard decisions, right? A bad hire can be a cancer on an organization, not just on their own productivity standpoint, but what they can do to others. Not to mention the time that you lose training somebody.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then the time that you waste then having to rehire somebody and then train that person all over again. Like hiring the wrong person can be the most devastating thing for an organization. Personally, if you have the ability and you have the bankroll, bringing in top tier talent is one of the most advantageous things you can do from like a management C-suite level. Hiring from within is good. I like doing it when I can, but don't force the shoe to fit if the shoe doesn't fit. Just because you like somebody, because they're a nice person, they might not be the best person to be in management, right? So I would say be very careful who you hire, or at least I am. I would rather take 2 times as long to fill a position and hire the right person than, hire somebody just because I need it one day.
Yeah, I understand. And speaking of that, leadership, what is the hardest leadership challenge you face today?
Like a specific challenge or more of a kind of...
More about leadership, your position as a leader.
I deal with them every day. It's hard.
Every day is something.
Yes, it's hard to, pinpoint one, but I can tell you, and you probably know this about me, but I take my responsibility to the people that I employ, to the people that are around me, to my business partners. I take that very seriously. And the weight falls, at least me personally, it falls heavy on my shoulders. So while I'm not scared to, make the hard decisions, for the greater good of the company or the business, whatever, making those is not easy when they go against what you would like to do because you're a compassionate person.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not specific, but that arises quite often.
Yeah.
And like too often in this day and age, people are prideful. People are they don't want to take any crap off of anybody. They're too good for this, too good for that. I mean, I eat crow all the time because there is a bigger plan in place than being right or being, showing people that, I'm not going to, take anything off anybody. No, be smart, be methodical. Yeah, you might not like it. Suck it in. Don't let them see that.
Yes. And
then when you're in a position a month later, 2 months later, a year later, now you've got, it's kind of like the Sun Tzu Art of War type thing. But yeah.
Oh, that's
but
amazing.
don't be prideful.
Don't be prideful. How do you personally define great service? What does it look like when your team gets it right?
Yeah. And we know this from being consumers, right? Great service when you feel great service. It's hard to put your finger on, but when you feel it, when you see it, you got it, right? Obviously, there's the easier metrics, right? Where it's, reviews, profitability, things like that, are indicative of good service. But it's somebody that is in a position of leadership that is able to command the respect and implementation from the employees all the way down of fulfilling kind of a full picture, appropriate to whatever situation or whatever hospitality locale you're in, right? That exceeds the standards of what else is around it, in my opinion, right? and yes, exceeds the, you know, the standard, right? But meets your definition of it as well. Like if you know things should be done at a certain period of time in a certain way, you should have KPIs in place to ensure that your staff is meeting those.
No.
Right. But like to me, it's like, you know, you're getting good service. Like you can, it's hard to put your finger on what that means, but you know it when you get it.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
And like for my place, my resort, a big part of it to me is when I hear from people I know or people I don't know, or almost anecdotally, right? Like I went down there, I had a great time. The place is really humming. It was packed out. Everybody was happy. You know, these certain groups were here. That to me is like, okay, yeah, we're doing something right.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing this
You're welcome.
experience. Finally, we have some advice for our students. You know, many of our viewers are hospitality students who dream of owning their own business someday. What advice would you give them?
It depends kind of your situation, but I the best advice I could give is find a good mentor, because a good mentor not only is going to kind of show you what you can and can't do, what you should do, right? But a good mentor is going to want, if you're doing a good job, if you're living up to the mentorship, you are the natural person in the line of succession. You know, that opportunity you bring to that mentor that might have that money to be able to open the door to that deal.
Oh.
Have a good credit score, right? Like there's some easy things,
important.
you know, there's some easy things, right? So when you have the ability to make a move on becoming an investor or owning a property, you have the ability to do it. But from a sweat equity standpoint, for somebody that's kind of trying to, you know, maybe that doesn't have certain advantages, right? The best thing you can do is set yourself up to be in a position where you can, through sweat equity, earn some kind of equity in a business and then be able to parlay it from there. But at the end of the day, if you surround yourself with people, the right kind of people, right? Good people that are open to seeing, that are open to rewarding people that are doing good around them, good will come to you, right? They will recognize it and they will want to put you in those positions, because at the end of the day, it will be financially beneficial for them.
Oh, that's,
you know,
that's a good advice.
Yeah, I tell people, be a send and delete type of person. Like I like to surround myself with send and delete people, right? Somebody I can say, hey, I need you to do X, Y, Z, and I don't have to write it on a list. So I follow up. I just know when I send it to that person, it gets done. And if you can be one of those type of people, and you are just moderately okay with putting yourself around the right people, you will rise up the ranks and you will put yourself in a position to have that afforded to you.
Oh, amazing.
2 cents.
Right. If you had to name 3 skills that are absolutely essential for success in this field, what would they be?
I would say probably efficiency. You need to be efficient in everything you do. Probably loyalty to your owner, your company, your brand. And then that kind of hustler's go-getter mentality. You know, if you don't put yourself in the right position, if you don't go out there and demand it or get it on your own, you are going to sit there and watch your whole life pass by without, because no one's going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Like even the last kind of segment we did, that's, you got to put yourself in the right position. You got to be that type of person, right? That somebody can depend on, you know, and if you are that go-getter, you are that hustler, good things will come to you. Just be consistent.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Well, looking ahead, what's next for you? What's next for Renegades on the River? Do you have any projects, any goals that you're excited about?
Yes. What's next for me? So yesterday, you guys are coming here on a good day. There was some big news. It was announced that I'm the majority partner of the acquisition team buying the Jacksonville Armada.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So with that, we broke ground about 7 weeks ago on the horizontal work for our stadium project. We go vertical in January. So we're building a 8,000 person stadium designed to have outside of the Jaguars' new stadium, which we really don't know what that's going to look like, it will be the most premium seating and experience in the Jacksonville Sporting Entertainment District.
Oh, wow.
So it should be state of the art. It should raise the bar for what people expect, and it should give Jackstonians that have a passion for football, or anywhere in Northeast Florida that have a passion for football, I'm talking about European football,
Yes.
South American football, it should give them a home and a team at a high level that they can support. And I'm very excited for Jacksonville. I'm very excited for the opportunity. I'm very excited to be able to be in a position where I can be that steward, not just for the team, the club, but also be a part of the development that's happening here in the urban core.
For sure, that's really exciting because we would have some more job opportunities in our
Yes.
hospitality industry, and also it'll grow economically.
Absolutely. I mean, we're getting ready to hire our C-suite. I think there's probably 20 high-paying jobs that are in there, and then you go down to the stadium management side, the venue side, the production side from when we're bringing in events. I mean, I would imagine the job growth will be in the hundreds of good-paying jobs. So it's good. Not only is it good from that standpoint for the city, but it's just bringing people downtown, giving people pride in their community. It's something that excites me.
That's really exciting. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us.
Yeah.
From courtrooms to marina and from contracts to community. Your story really shows how hospitality can blend business, creativity, and heart.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Carol.
Well,
I appreciate you taking the time to come down here and do this today.
thank you. Where can we find more information about Renegades on the River for our viewers to check it out and visit?
Yeah. So Renegades on the River has a Facebook, Instagram page, and website. So there's plenty of stuff there. You can always come down and meet the folks. It's the best way to see what's going on down there. On the Armada stuff, the Armada fan pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can see all that stuff, or you can come down to our beautiful office here at 501 West Bay Street, where the Armada are homed. Or if you ever get in a car accident, you can go to campionelaw.com.
Thank you so much.
You're
That's
very
awesome.
welcome.
This has been Check Into Experience, the podcast. Thank you for watching, and be sure to follow FSCJ Hospitality. See you next time.